Всім привіт! Ви знов на каналі Speak і з вами ваш репетитор Олександра. Сьогодні я хочу продовжити тему граматики, яку я розпочала у відео English Word Order. І коли ми розмовляємо про English Word Order, тобто порядок слів у реченні, ми розмовляємо по суті про те, як слова взаємодіють між собою в реченні. Для того, щоб розуміти це, нам потрібно знати, що являють самі по собі ті слова. Тобто, які вони частини мови. Саме тому сьогоднішня тема у нас буде parts of speech, або частини мови. В англійській мові є деякі частини мови, які просто не існують в українській. І я вам скажу, що це взагалі-то не проблема. І після цього відео ви зрозумієте, як вони з'являються, як вони формуються і що з ними робити. І оскільки всі уроки я проводжу англійською мовою, то I would suggest you buckle up and prepare to read subtitles. First of all, let's clear this one out. What are the parts of speech? These are the individual words like table, blue, fast, or run. Each of them has some kind of function. For example, table is a noun. It is a thing or inanimate noun and answers the question, what? Let's have a look at some other examples of nouns. Phone, car, lunch, work. Nouns can also be animate or living, like man, woman, mother, teacher, and so on. These are animate nouns and they answer the question, who? So far so good? Let's keep going then. We have words that demonstrate the action, like to run, to sleep, to play, or to watch. These are verbs. In English, though, there is one more verb that actually doesn't demonstrate any action, and it exists to fill in the spot of the action when we have no action in the sentence. But, as we know from my previous video about the word order, there is always action in the sentence, even if there is none. It's the verb to be. To refresh your memory of the last video, let me give you an example. Nouns represent things. So in this sentence, there is an action word, represent, same as in Ukrainian, представляти. Verbs are actions. There is no action in this sentence, but in English, we need a verb to play the role of the predicate, присудка. So we use the verb to be. See how easy it is? Okay. Next ones are the words that describe things, adjectives like fast, blue, difficult, or funny. As you might know, they answer the question, what kind of? When they are in the sentence, their place is right before the nouns they describe. Fast car, blue dress, difficult task, or funny joke. But we also describe the actions. And to help us with that, let's invite adverbs on stage. These are the words that answer the question, how? Like quickly, slowly, recently, never. Let's see how they work in the sentence. She quickly ran to the bus stop. He was slowly recovering. I saw my school teacher recently. I never come late to school. All of these adverbs are describing the action, and as you probably noticed, they're a little more flexible in where they are placed in the sentence. They can be either before the action they describe, like in this sentence, or they can be after, like in this one. A lot of adverbs are actually the same words as the adjectives, so you might have a question, Sandra, how do I know if it's an adjective or an adverb? The answer is always in their partner.
Hello there.
What do they describe? If they describe a thing or a person, it's an adjective. If they describe an action, it's an adverb. For example, I love using the fast track. The trip ended so fast. So these are the first line of the parts of the speech. In the second line, we have the ones that answer the same questions with these and thus can replace them in the sentence. Except for the verbs. Nothing can replace verbs. So what can replace nouns? Pronouns. Instead of my teacher, we can say he. Instead of this ugly desk, we can say it. And you get the idea. Now in English, there is a very interesting part of speech that is technically a noun because it answers the same question, what? But it was formed from a verb. For example, we take a verb to run, бігати, and then make it into a noun. Running, процес бігу. Such nouns are called gerund. Do you want some more? Singing, walking, cooking, and many more are great examples of classic gerund. That is a noun formed from the verb by adding ing. Are you still here? Awesome, because we still need to replace adjectives and adverbs. So, there are two parts of speech that can replace adjectives. Their names are participle 1 and participle 2. Usually, my students are scared to death at this point, as these names sound so sciencey that it pushes an invisible button in their brain and they are unable to understand anything after I mention these names. Do not be afraid, my dear English learners. These are literally just the names, like any brand name that you can easily remember and recognize, like Nike, Louis Vuitton, or Hermes. But you don't seem to be afraid of those. Anyway, back to participle 1 and 2. These are simply adjectives formed from the verb. Participle 1 is formed by adding ing, like running, water, or dashing fella. And surprise, surprise, you are already familiar with participle 2, as it is the third form of the verbs that we were diligently memorizing if we happen to come across an irregular verb. For example, the broken vase or finished project. As you can see, both participle 1 and participle 2 take their rightful place before the noun they describe as any good adjective. And usually I get one very attentive student who would ask me this question, "Teacher, but why are there two of them? Why do we need participle 1 and participle 2? And this student's question makes me so happy, as he just hit the nail on the head. Bingo! Why, you ask? Because participle 1 has active nature and participle 2 has passive nature. To give you a better idea, here's an example. I am a boring person. The quality described as boring comes from me to affect others, which means I am actively boring other people. I am bored by that person. The quality described as bored comes onto me from the outside, which means I am bored by something or someone else. And here we are, all most important parts of speech in English for you to know. Congratulations, you survived! Ну що ж, я сподіваюся, що після цього відео у вас більше немає сумнівів щодо того, які частини мови є в англійській мові, і що з ними робити, як вони формуються і взагалі, що вони собою являють. Якщо ж у вас все ж таки є запитання, будь ласка, пишіть в коментарях. Ну а на сьогодні це все. З вами була Олександра. Ви були на каналі Speak Today. Побачимось в наступному відео. See ya!